Hello everyone and welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. It's the end of the month, well, give or take a few days. It's about time I did my monthly pocket dump, and you'll probably be able to tell from some of the knives I've taken quite a liking to a certain pattern of the last month. Yes, Barlows. I've really sort of gone Barlow sort of heavy. Yeah, can't help myself, just think they're fantastic at the moment. But I've got a load of other stuff to show you that I've been carrying. Some stuff I don't really show. It's just the general sort of EDC stuff, but I'll show them as I go along. And then right at the very end, I've got a knife I could use some help identifying who the maker is. It's one that Mikey picked up at the last sort of antique fair we went to. The tang is pretty worn. You can see Sheffield and England on there and a couple of other letters, but I'd love some suggestions of who you think the makers are, and I can sort of look them up online, but I'm sort of pulling blanks with it really. But let's jump straight into it. I'm going to go through the non-knife carry stuff first, and then we'll go into the interesting stuff at the end. So let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Really, most people, it's going to be my car keys. I've got a couple of beads on the end. That one's an Eric Starr. I think that one was from Dan. Keychain. This is another one from Eric Starr. A Randy bead. An Eolite, which is really cool. This is the iMini 2. By far the best mini flashlight out there. It's literally pull off and it turns on. And I know a lot of people are going to be laughing, I've just said pull off, but there we go. And then I have, this is a modified 58mm I did myself. This was nice and shiny copper, and then I touched it. But I've just sort of modified it so that both the good tools come out of one end. So any of you know the tool layout for this. It's obviously not as a normal one because they're both coming out and it's not opposite. But this would have been a Rogue, which is basically the Rambler, but with the flat head instead of the Phillips driver. And I think that was perfect really, especially for knife hunting. If you need to open a difficult knife, you haven't got your pliers on you, the flathead is a lot more usable for me than the Phillips. So that's my keys. Carry these things every day on my belt without fail. So we have this flashlight. This one is one by Soffern. This is the SC13. Nice pocket clip, and I love these bits here. This presses it against your belt and holds it. And then my belt is actually about this thick, so this actually holds it onto the belt with that little kick down there. Perfect for that. It's sort of the press it 4 times, unlocks, press it 4 times, it locks. Multiple settings, you know, you've got the burst, the moonlight, low, medium, and then double tap for high. And the pocket clip's obviously removable. You could do a lanyard on there if you wish, but for me, pocket clip's the best, and it's USB-C rechargeable, which really makes it a step above when it's got that new charging option on there as well. And this was a gift from Mikey Newman. This is the SOG Power Pint. So this is one of the ones that was made in China, but I love the gear action for the pliers, and you can get they open really wide. I think they're perfect. Again, for knife hunting or any sort of EDC or little tiny job around the house, garage, car, these are perfect for that. Unfortunately, it's not a UK legal carry, as it does have 2 locking blades on it. So you can see you get this worn cliff here, and on the back then you get a serrated sort of sheep's foot. But I'm happy to carry this on my belt. I'm not out there making it obvious I'm carrying anything like this, and I mean, it's just a multi-tool, isn't it? It's obviously not designed to be anything threatening, but a big fan of that, especially because of the bit driver holder on the back here. And I can give you an example of that. Just grab it. Sort of a 1/4 inch bit, and then it fits in there, and while you hold it closed, that is sturdy in there, it's not going anywhere, and you can use that as sort of a makeshift sort of ratchet if you need to. So that is the Power Pint, big fan of that. And then this is a little Zippo on the Zippo Z clip. Now this is one that John gifted to me when we went out to Texas. So 23D April 2023. And he got us the single torch insert there. You can see a bit better there. Wonderful Zippo, love this thing. So John, thank you very much. This has been on my belt, I'm going to say about 90% of the time. I have carried a couple of other ones, but I've always gone back to this one because I love it. And I did recently pick up a purple one, pretty much identical to this, for about 10 at the latest flea market. And I got the double torch insert in that in my car. So if I'm forever without one, I can have one as a backup in there. A couple of slips from the carry options I've got. So this is my most carried of the month by far. This is one I've had the longest, and the last time I met up with Sean, Lynn and Mikey. Lynn gifted me a couple of others. So I've got a variety of colours, and I really love these slips she does. I think they're absolutely perfect for what I want. So you get the pen slot and a knife slot, and that's all I need out of a slip. So the pen just goes in there like that. And you can see from this one, I got today's carry in there, and this is the first I've owned this knife, so it's not going to be in the video, but that's how I would carry it. And I've also got a nice green and orange. There's a brown, a teal colour like this, and a purple. And they're all superb, and they're just getting better and better every time she makes them. And the name of these is a puss slip, because obviously this is her stamp, the cat, and it's a slip, so pussy, puss slip, fantastic name. And she's also made me this, and this is the puss wall slip. So it's the pussy slip with a wallet, so it is a puss wall slip, and it has all my cards in the back there. I'm obviously not going to pull them out to show you the numbers, but I do have my driving license. I've got that case card in there, a couple of band-aids, credit card in the back, and that's perfect size for that. And in the front, this is one that I sort of asked if she as a challenge. Now it's nice and snug in there, so it's not going to fall out, but I have a 74mm Prince, which I think is a fantastic everyday little carry. Victorinox, so you get the nail cleaner and the nail file, and then on the back it's just the main blade, and then you get the pen blade on the back there as well. Let's ditch that for prime focus. See that file again, and that sits perfectly in the front there. And look at that, nice and slender. It's always going to be on you if you've got your wallet. You haven't got to have it jangling around in your pockets or a separate slip for it. I just thought that would be a fantastic idea, and Lynn, you really nailed this. I think it's fantastic. Money clip, mainly for going to antique markets. This is what I had sort of left over from my monthly budget for antique fairs. So I've got a bit saved up in there. I'm going to be going to one next weekend, maybe, give or take. Might go somewhere tomorrow, but that's just a Amazon special carbon fiber money clip. There's nothing fantastic about that, but I carry that most days if I'm going out somewhere. Right, on to the interesting stuff, the knives. So there's a couple which might surprise you. There's very few Victorinox stuff. I've only recently started carrying that one because I've got the slip. The only other Victorinox I've really carried this month is this, and this is the Cadet. This is one of the ones that John over at Thrifty Kniffy picked up for me as a gift. See, it's a DLT exclusive, and I love it because it's got the file. Now, I know a lot of people are bigger fans of it's got the scissors, but for me, especially with going out knife hunting, a lot of my EDC now is revolving around that, specifically for when I'm out. Obviously, I won't carry some stuff every day if I'm not going to need it. Like, I don't carry my wallet every day or my keys, for example, and not every day do I need a file. But this is mainly for, as you can see here, I've broken my nail opening multiple knives. It's just to sort of fix that and sort any jagged edges out. And the Cadet is perfect for that, especially this beautiful blue colour. Come on, focus, don't be mean. Look at that. A couple of locking knives I've carried this month. This is the Frontier Sports Knife, I think they called it. It was a beautiful Skinner. You can see that is an Imperial USA 4514. And you can see you've got the shield on there as well with Frontier underneath, like a scroll. Beautiful lock back, beautiful aged patina on the back spring there as well. Brass liners. And this thing takes a wicked edge. It's scary sharp, but nice action on it. I've been carrying that on my belt in a little slip. And then my other lockback I've carried quite a bit is this Buck 112 Eolite. And this is in the paper rock, which is kind of like my Carter. Recycled, so very green, hence the green colour of the knife. Other than that, it's identical to a 112. So you've got the 420 HC. This thumb stud I've put on. Pin design, no pocket clip, so it comes with a sheath. It's that sort of nylon style popper sheath. But this is beautiful. This was brand new in the box, and I picked this up and I got it for an absolute steal on the secondary market. So that of the lockers, that's the two I've carried the most. I have carried a couple here and there in different situations, but they're the ones that have sort of stuck with me. Now on to the knives. So one of the ones I carry a lot every month without fail. This is one of the two knives I picked up right before we went to Texas, and they were there when we got back from Texas. Now this is the birthday knife I got for Mikey, Baldis blades. See that I've got jigged my Carter with faux bolster, bird's eye pivot, brass liners, worked spring and blade, and that 01 tool steel with a long nail nick or long pull. Beautiful action and snap. This is one of my favorite knives of all time. I think it's just phenomenal. Another one as well is my Andy Brock Custom. I got this very recently. I've carried it quite a lot. You can see the patina forming on that 01 tool steel blade. We've got brushed brass bolsters and liners there as well, and this is in the Bog U. Beautiful action, and it's a really sort of unique clip point shape compared to an Arthur Wright. You can see it's a lot more long and slender, but I think it's fantastic. I love this thing. It's nice and sort of chunky in the hand, so you can get a lot of control when you're using it. It's the Andy Brock Barlow, and this one is Case Sodbuster. This is one I've used recently, so you can see the blade is covered in filth, patinaed, used to open boxes, all that sort of stuff. And this is in the Deep Sunset Valley Jig. This is the SMKW exclusive. This is the second lot of these two, I believe, and this, you can tell, is in carbon steel. I'm pretty sure this is 1095. Yep, it is. Beautiful example. Yeah, it's off center, but it's not touching. There's no gaps. The action's fantastic. The bone matches both sides. So am I going to complain about the centering? No. Excellent Sodbuster. Couple more. Well, let's just do the one that's not a Barlow, and then we'll get into the final Barlows. But this is one I picked up on Facebook very recently on the secondary market. And this is a GEC, and I got this for £80. 3.5 inches close. Of course, it's 1095 carbon steel, which is absolutely disgusting because I've been using it. See, it's getting black on the end there. So you've got Northfield, and then you've got, this is the 681221. So it's a 68 pattern with the main blade being 1, which is clip. There's 2 blades and it's a 2021. And then you get this beautiful little pen blade on the back there as well, because see, that's not been used as much. Oh, look at that beautiful bone on there. And this one is called the White Owl. Love the colour, and especially the jigging of that bone makes it really grippy in the hand. Build quality is absolutely perfect. It's pretty much GEC's take on a British penknife, and I think they absolutely nailed it. And then this is one I got from Dan recently, but I did clean it up. It wasn't disgusting, it just needed a good polish. And this is a USA made Bokeh Barlow with saw cut Delrin, steel liners, beautiful fit and finish. Now the pull's not the best on this, but it's absolutely fine to have as an EDC knife. You can always choke up on the kick and have no fear that's going to close on you. And you get a main spear blade and a secondary little pen blade. One I picked up at the famous Sheffield shop last time. This is an Ashley Harrison custom. This is in the mirror polished 01 with the elongated slim Barlow bolsters, and that is Jigged Buffalo. One of my favourite knives to use as well, just because it's so slim. It's such a lightweight carry, even though it's got brass and all that sort of steel and worked spring and blade. Look at that all the way down there. Isn't that fantastic? All the way down. It's beautiful. Great action. And Ashley's mark on there. Beautifully centered. The pull is fantastic. You can pinch open that without any problems. And then the last two are some of my newest ones, but they've had a lot of carry time. So this is the Moonraker exclusive Arthur Wright & Sons in the curly birch, I think. Again, you can pinch this one open. Great pull. This is in the C70 carbon steel. This probably had about 4 or 5 days constant carry, because I mean, look at it. Beautiful wood on there. The grain is fantastic. The build quality is absolutely amazing. And the snap is just guillotine snap. But that's the Moonraker. So they are unfortunately sold out, those, but there is more coming, so keep your eyes peeled for those. And then finally, this is an Olivewood Barlow. This one has had a lot of carry as well. I just love the simplicity of the Arthur Wright Barlows. Nothing better of a working man's knife than just a Barlow with a wooden scales. Beautiful carbon steel blade, C70. So it's not the best, but it does actually last a lot longer than you might think. I was using this the other day to restore a couple of cutlery boxes where I was sort of scraping off wood, glue, cutting off cloth, all that sort of stuff, cutting up the new fabric, and I didn't have to strop it once. And when I was finished, it could still cut through paper. So don't believe everything you hear about, you know, steels not being great if they're lower quality. It's just how you use them and how you look after them. There's the Arthurite tang stamp. I couldn't recommend these anymore. Get to Jane at the famous Sheffield shop, and she'll help you pick up anything you sort of desire in regards to Arthurite or Sheffield cutlery. But there we go, guys. That is my EDC pocket dump. And I did mention there's going to be a mystery knife at the end that Mikey picked up I'd like some help with. And here it is. I actually restored this for him. It was in pretty rough shape, and he handed it over to me and asked if I could do a bit of a cleanup on it. But you can see it has the flat bottom brass, so it does stand up. Steel liners and spring, yep, and this beautiful jigged bone. Look at that. We have the nickel silver rat tail bolsters. Beautiful fit and finish. Nice snap into the half stop, but you can see how pitted this blade was underneath all that rust. But I have polished it up, given it a nice edge. Let's see if I can get that maker's mark to show for you. So you can just about see it there. You can definitely see Sheffield, England. And above it, it looks like EBR. See if I can get that to focus a bit better. That's the best I can do, but I'm really struggling to identify it. But build quality is superb. Great fit and finish. Beautiful looking knife. And listen to the action. So if anyone's got any idea what it may be, or my sort of starting points to look, please let me know. I'd love to find out what that is. But as usual, I really hope you enjoyed this sort of video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.